Hello, everyone. It is I, Valerie Love, and we are here with Touhou, Embodiment of Scarlet Devil. Now, this is commentary from after I have finished with the run, and this is mostly unscripted, so I hope I'll have a lot of things to talk about, but I think I will because this game and this, the entire Touhou project and I go way back. I've played this game since I was in high school, and I played a lot of this game, but it was not actually my most played Touhou game. It was actually Perfect Cherry Blossom. Now, I kind of have a love-hate relationship with this game in the sense that, I love the simplicity of, there's no fancy game mechanics. It's just, a simple 2D bullet hell shooter with no, gimmicks. Now, I'm not saying that the gimmicks in the future games are bad. In fact, I liked a lot of them. But I still played this game the most, or rather a lot, because I just love this. I love the simplicity of the game so much. And, it has some of the most iconic characters in the whole franchise, so that's another thing. Now, there's nothing really particularly interesting for me to say about my battle with Rumia here, other than I had a lot of graze points this attempt. If you notice, I'm already at 131. That's normally how much I finish with. And look, I got so much graze points out of just that one graze alone. And yeah, there we go. I beat Rumia with no problems. So, on to stage 2, and, by this point, the layout of the stage, or rather the bullet patterns that come, are pretty much ingrained into my memory. So, and even if they weren't, these bullets are, so sparse that it's easy to avoid them. So, there's really not much to say on this early portion, but I will have something to... But I will say, for Dayose's fights, you're gonna see something. So here comes Dayose, she's pretty easy. You just gotta avoid these rings of bullets, and then here comes the stream part. I failed to stream those aimed bullets, and I died. My first death is at Dayose. Now, I kind of have a policy when I'm playing this game in which if I die on Dayose, I reset. If I die on Rumia, I will absolutely reset. However, as of recently, I haven't been resetting on first death stage 2s because I find that I can still get pretty far. It's just one death. It's just one death in stage 2. That's nothing to reset over. It would be preferable if we did stage 1 and 2 and even 3 perfectly. But, mistakes happen, so you gotta live with them, I guess. And I'm glad I didn't reset because, of course, this would be the run in which I get the 1cc. So, Cyrano is also relatively easy. However, if you're not careful, you can die on Cyrano, so... this part, it's just dodging aimed lasers and bullets. This one, it's a bit more random, but it's very predictable, where the bullets are gonna go. And the gaps are wide enough so that there's, no really narrow gaps that you need to go through. I mean, these first two stages, they're a cakewalk, honestly. Now, if you're not careful, you can die to these rice bullets because they're a bit more random. Like, I believe they look like they're aimed, but at the same time, they kind of have an unpredictable moving pattern. So, now that we're on Mei Ling, as my history for this stage, this is normally where I die first. And also, another important thing to note is that I got to 10 million. I got to 10 million, right before the stage started. Normally, I get to 10 million around this part at the beginning, but getting all those extra points grazing in Rumia's stage really helped me in that regard. So, you know, there's really not a lot for me to say about this stage either. It's pretty simple. The only advice I really have to give is that a lot of this is aimed, so, you know, practice streaming, okay? That's pretty much the important thing here about any Touhou game is you should probably practice streaming. I don't do a lot of streaming, so, you know, you kind of tend to see me moving around a lot. That's pretty much because I have a tendency to try to look for gaps for me to go through, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. In fact, that's pretty good strategy if you want to get maximum graze points, but, you know, just try to stream as much, just try to practice streaming, especially in the higher difficulties. That's gonna be, like, really unnecessary skill in order for you to master. So yeah, we get through this part, no problems. So we're now at the third boss, Mei Ling. So, you know, this pattern's pretty predictable. All you gotta do is, you know, just look for gaps. The rainbow sign, despite how predictable it is, like, it's so easy, yet I tend to die on this part. Like, I'm a lot better now, but I do still tend to occasionally die when I get the rainbow sign. Now, for this one, I don't think you have to worry about killing the fairies, because they'll kind of die naturally as you know, dodge Mei Ling's bullets there. And now the kunai attack. This is also pretty simple. Like, Mei Ling, the key to beating Mei Ling is just to recognize where the gaps are. If you can recognize where the gaps are, then, you know, the stage is pretty easy. Now, I bombed there because I saw a few yellow bullets come right at me, and I was like, oh shit, I better bomb. And, you know, this one also seems to have some homing bullets. So, you know, just, like I said, practice streaming and see how we can go there. Now, Patchouli is... she can be tough. Well, okay, the thing about Stage 3 is it's not so much... like, Patchouli's tough, however, getting to Patchouli is kind of as tough. However, one thing I didn't realize is that one thing I didn't realize until I, like, started watching some streams of... not streams, but rather, playthroughs of this game, is that the pinwheels, like, their attacks... like, I know that their attacks are homed, but you could actually easily stream their attacks. You know, I tend to go around the bullet graze. I tend to go around the flurry of bullets rather than try to graze them, simply because I don't know, because I'm too scared. Kawakuma you know, she can get you if your positioning is bad, as mine was there. But, you know, don't be afraid to bomb. She gives you a free bomb anyway. Yeah, that's another thing. I need to learn to bomb more, I guess. Not exactly bomb more, but find, like, appropriate places to bomb, because I have a tendency to hoard my bombs. Because, you know, I want to dodge the bullets. I don't want to bomb my way through a boss or a stage or whatever, especially when you know, bombs are precious. You don't get a lot of them, and a bomb used in the stage is one less bomb used for the boss. However, as you see here, I use a lot of bombs this stage. And also, I tend to really go for some risky POC item collections here. Like, I normally wouldn't be this risky in a full game run. Like, I do it in practice a lot because, you know, it's just practice. However, in full game runs, I do have a bad habit of going for a lot of those POC collections when it's not safe. Alright, next we're on to Patchouli, and one thing I would like to say about Patchouli is, so her spell cards differ by the weapon type that you choose. I am playing Reimu B, and I don't normally play Reimu B. I tend to play either Reimu A or Marissa B. And I always thought that the Princess Undyne spell card was really difficult, but it's not that difficult. In fact, I think it's kind of easier than the one that Marissa B has. I can't remember the names of them. I played this game so much and I haven't memorized the names of the spell cards. Isn't that sad? Okay. This one I find pretty challenging. However, they're easily... I think you can easily stream these. My strategy is to kind of just look for empty gaps. Of course, I died there, so that worked out. My strategy is pretty similar for the Water Elf spell card. I just... you know, I just kind of stay near the bottom and look for openings. I did not need to bomb there, yet I did. You know, sometimes you just gotta live with your mistakes, you know? Now, I have never liked these patterns where, like, the bullets go, like, crissy-cross like that. It always throws me off. Alright, so we have reached stage 5 with 4 lives. That's pretty impressive, if you ask me. It used to be that I would get to the stage with only, like, 2 or 1 life. And then I would die, like, pretty much right here, because I couldn't react to the bullets fast enough. However, after playing for so long, I've realized, you know, I know the pattern. I know the pattern, so I recognize the pattern, so I'm ready for it every time. Although, on this part, I still tend to die quite often. at least in practice. In full game runs, yeah, I still die in this part a lot in full game runs. Alright, now the mid-boss. So, I really don't like this mid-boss. It's, it always fucked me up in practice. Now, you would not believe how much my mind was blown when I figured out the secrets to beating the misdirection spell card. And that's to not follow Sakuya, go the other way. You know, it's literally called misdirection. She misdirects you. So go the opposite of where she is. Of course, that still doesn't... Of course, maybe I need to figure out better movement because, of course, you know, I still died there and had to use a bomb. So, I normally either die here or have to bomb here, but look, I made it. I made it, and now we're on to Sakuya. Now, we have 3 lives, and honestly, I was expecting to die at least twice here, because that's how it goes with Sakuya. I never beat Sakuya without dying. Now, I have figured out a strategy to survive these pause knife attacks. However, obviously the execution is still not as great as I would like it to be. Normally what I would do is I would go slightly above the bottom of the screen and then, you know, try to go around the knives. Maybe a better strategy would be to do misdirection. But I like this strategy, even though it's probably not the most reliable. I'll probably try to go for misdirection if I'm ever going to go for full game runs again. You know, as for, now that I've beaten Touhou 6, I'm wondering what's up next for my stream. I could try to get 1CCs with all the other characters. I could try to go for hard difficulty. I could play other games. And I actually do plan to play other Touhou games on my stream now that I've beaten this one. In fact, I would really love to go for a 1cc PCB attempt because, you know, I played that game so much when I was in high school that, you know, it's like, why not? Okay, so we're on the final stage, and I only have 2, and I can only die twice before... I can only die twice. I can only die twice. I was thinking, man, this run is over. This run is totally over. There's no way I can beat Remilia without dying twice. That's impossible. But, you know, never say never, because nonetheless, we're here. We got this far, we can't give up, so we'll just have to try our best. So, interestingly enough, I don't really die a lot to Sakuya here, and normally I just bomb this part, but look at this! Look at this! I beat Sakuya mid-boss in the final stage without using a bomb. And without dying, too. That's pretty impressive, if you ask me. And we got the 1-up. So, I felt more confidence in beating Remilia now. But, still, I was at the same time, I was still pretty damn anxious, you know, because at this point I was like so pumped, being like, oh my god, this could be the run. This could be the run. I get the 1cc. Star of David is is not too hard actually, but it's easy to get stuck on. See, I had to use a bomb there, and I probably, that was not a good position at the end, but we beat Vermilia in time anyway. So this one, you know, it's while it's aimed, it can be a bit difficult to predict where the bubbles are coming. But, you know, we've seemed to gone through there without problems. Now, this is the one where for some reason I either die or have to bump. I don't know what is it with me and Chrissy cross bullets. Like, it's so predictable, yet I die often. These knife attacks are so damn easy. Like, it's pretty much like just a slightly more difficult Daiose. Now, I have had the biggest trouble with these damn cursed knives. Like, this is normally my run killer. And look, we beat it without bombing and without dying. Now, on this non-spell card, I typically die often to the rice bullets. I think the bullets and the fireballs are actually pretty easy to dodge. So, you know, once you dodge, just try to do as much damage to Vermilia as you can, because, you know, she can't take damage in bat form. Now, this is another one in which I pretty much always have to bomb, because I just don't really know how to avoid this. Now, on that one, I pulled off the death bomb, and I was like so happy. And here we go. We're at the last spell card. At this point, my heart is beating, my hands are sweaty as hell, and, you know, I'm just thinking, come on, I gotta survive just enough. I can't die another time. So I gotta use my bombs. But the thing is, the bombs don't damage Vermilia, and they don't, you know... Apparently, the spell card goes faster if you bomb. So... But I only have 2 bombs left, so I have to make them count. So I bomb once, and in my head I was thinking, okay, I can bomb another time. But that'll be it. No more bombs. I can't. I'll be dead. But then, that was what it was in my head at the time. However, we did it. We did it. We beat Vermilia without using continues. I finally got my first ever 1cc. In any Touhou game, not just Touhou 6, in any Touhou game. So, that was my journey to get the 1cc. If you would like to see me play more Touhou, please follow me on Twitch. I would really love to start streaming more, so follow me on Twitch, subscribe to my YouTube, and I will see you later.